So you're getting dreams.
Yeah, so I'm getting dreams.
They're prophetic dreams.
These dreams, and I feel like, I don't know if it's the heat, but I feel like they're more constant than normal. So I feel like, you know how I say sometimes where I get these prophetic or these real dreams every like 6 months or so?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's becoming more regular. It's becoming a more regular thing, okay, of certain things.
Mm.
Anyways, yeah, this old lady, she's like 98, comes into Harvest, and I serve her coffee maybe like twice a week or whatever whenever she comes in. And I'm nice to her and everything like that. And there's one time where I bring her coffee. I'm like, here you go, Elsa. And she grabs my arm. And she says, she looks at me in my eyes, and she says, you know him. And I'm like, who is this crazy lady? And I'm like, what? And she's like, she points at me and she's like, you know him. And she's smiling, and I'm like, okay, dude, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, like, who? And she's like, you know Jesus. So I sit down instantly, and I'm like, what, like, yeah, like, I know him. Like, I definitely know him. And she's like, and she grabs my arm again, and she's like, he's on his way. Like, he's coming. He's coming sooner than you think. And obviously it's kind of hard to, like, hear her because she has a thick German accent, and she's 98, so, like, she's elderly, you know what I mean? So it's hard to kind of, like, hear it. But those words were so clear, and I'm just like, it's so real. Like, he's so real. You know what I mean? And he's coming sooner than we think.
And the world is caught up.
Yeah, exactly. The world, that's the thing. You walk around and the world is just blind. And they don't, the church is blind. And, like, people all around that say that they think they know.
But they don't.
No idea. They're not listening. Like, they're not, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I have this, like, feeling of, like, where things don't, like things that I thought would matter more don't matter. Like, it's like, all I think about at the end of the day is, like, my family and, like, Micah. Like, that's what keeps me going every single day. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like I don't have time for all this crap in my life. Like, it's like, I feel very blessed that I'm not so caught up. And obviously, there's going to be times where Satan grabs you and he wants to pull you down because he knows it. He, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So tell me about these dreams. Do you remember the ship dream? Can you remember that one, the two ships?
The two ships?
The fancy cruise ship and the old ferry
Yeah.
beater.
I just remember I was on this broken down ship with, like, some people, and we were in the ocean, middle of the ocean, and there's another fancy, like, cruise ship, like, party ship, and I even had friends on that cruise ship, and I was like, guys, like, why are we on this broken down ship? Like, we're not going to survive this. And we were coming to this, like, place where this old ship, the current, was going into this, like, these caves, these, like, rocks. Mm-hmm. This harder path than, like, open water. And we were like, why don't we go on the other ship? And then the captain's like, no, you gotta stay here. So then we ended up, we ended up, like, colliding kind of with, like, this other cruise ship. And I was like, you guys need to come back on this ship. Like, you guys, for some reason, you guys are going in the wrong direction. And all my friends are like, no, we're having so much fun. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, that ship looks like it's going to break down. So anyways, I'm like, okay, like, I'm trying to tell you, like, get on the ship. So anyways, we go through this rocky path on the ocean and everything. And then we end up coming back out. and the other cruise ship was on the other side. And I end up bringing one of my friends over from there, but we end up keep going to like the horizon, like the sunset, and this cruise ship like falls, like goes over the bend, and all I hear is like screams. And then we end up just keep sailing onwards, like upwards.
So who was the captain of your ship?
Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
So last night you had a dream about this.
Yeah, I had a dream where I was in this valley, I was in this city, and there was mountains surrounding this city, and I was walking in this marketplace, and I, for some reason, had this feeling that something was going to happen. Like, I didn't know if it was bad or good, but I had this, like, feeling of, like, something's going to happen now. And I was with this friend of mine. It was a guy. And he was, like, my best friend in this dream. Like, we were really, really close, but I didn't know what he looked like or anything. I knew his voice. And I was, like, telling him, I was like, dude, like, something's, like, happening. Something's gonna go down, like, or something. Do you have this feeling? He's like, yeah, like, I have the same feeling. Like, I know something's happening. And he's like, we gotta, like, prepare ourselves. So I had this backpack on my back, and it was empty. And he was like, we gotta fill that with, like, some tools. Like, we gotta, like, prepare ourselves. So we walked around the city, different locations, and we were picking up things that would help us for for something to happen. We had no idea. And then all of a sudden we hear this crash, and this wave pours, like this wave is massive, like the size of mountains, pours over the mountain. And I felt like it was kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah, where like people in the city were so blind and they just started running around like children, like toddlers, like they had no idea what was happening. And it was such a surprise to them. But me and my friend here, 100%, we were like, oh, we felt like we knew this was coming. Like, we were prepared. So my backpack was filled, and he's like, we gotta go. And we were running through the city, and I kept, like grabbing people, and I was like, dude, like, and trying to talk to them, and my friend was like, we gotta go, you gotta lose that. And we need to keep running, we need to keep going, we make haste. So, he was like, I need to go pick up my backpack. And I was like, all right, let's go. And this wave is just coming closer and closer into the city. And we go to this house, and it's like a safe house, and it was filled with windows, and it was like brighter, and that's where his backpack was, and he's like, all right, I have my backpack. And then this like animal like / human thing, I didn't really know what it was. I thought it was like kind of like an angel. He was waiting for us outside, and he said, all right, I'm your ticket out of here. And then my friend grabbed my hand. He's like, all right, let's go. And the last thing I remember before I woke up was I looked above me, and this wave was literally right above me. And then I looked to the mountains, and I just knew that that's where I was going to go, and I woke up. And this friend of mine that I was with, I was like, who is this guy that I was with? Like, I was like, do I know him in real life? And then I felt like that was Jesus. Like, he was, like, my best friend. And I felt, even in my dream, I felt like when he was telling me to, like, stop talking to people and stop, like, getting distracted here and there. Like, we need to make haste. Like, we need to keep going. We need to keep getting out of here. You know what I mean? I felt very calm and peaceful, but at the same time, he was, like, blunt and, like, very straight to the point. So it was, like, I just felt like he was like my best friend. Like, Jesus was my best friend. And he was grabbing my hand and telling me, like, we need to get out of here. And you know, like, what's coming. So.
Yeah, he's coming soon.